Okay, please excuse yesterday's makeup. I didn't feel the need to put more on as I'm doing a shadow root today. I got my very first ever, I want to call it a PR package just to sound like a professional YouTuber, but it's definitely not. Basically, I sent an email begging Berserk for free stuff to showcase on my channel. Mostly because they get some really good brands of unnatural hair dyes, and I've always wanted to try Sparks specifically just because I've heard some really good things about just how long it lasts, which is apparently like ridiculous. So I've got that on my roots at the moment because I wanted Pink Kiss, which is the colour of my actual hair, and I thought, oh, I'll just use that to touch up my roots when that time comes, which is usually every I want to say every 4 weeks like a professional, but that would be a lie. It's kind of when I can't stand my regrowth anymore. If I just put the extensions in, I thought a shadow root might be nice as well, just do a whole makeover. I'll also be doing probably a video a bit later on piercing my other nostril. It's been pierced several times, it's just that it came out about 4 months ago. And while I was asleep, it just had a pigtail bar thing in there, and a curly wheelie one, and it just came out while I was asleep, couldn't find it, didn't end up replacing it. In that time, I've since pierced my cheeks, pierced my fifth rim, but not gotten around to putting my other nostril back in, so it has completely closed. No, oh, there's a little bit of a trace of it, you can kind of see a little hole, which I'll probably use as a guideline because it does match up with this hole, that or I'm going to have to pull out calipers and start measuring, which makes me want to just die. But I am pretty good at, without sucking my own teeth, but I am pretty good at lining up piercings on the face, like my elves, which, oh no, my ear's covered in pink dye. Well, I'll just put that there. Well, apparently Sparks doesn't stain your skin. We'll see about that. I'll let you know how it works out. But yeah, I lined them up pretty well. And that was just freeform. Same with my cheeks, freeform, no calipers. My snake bites are a bit of a clusterfuck, but I'll get around to fixing them one day. That's gone now. Don't smoke. I think I'm going to start making videos again, just because, one, I've recently been told by people that they were watching them, which I wasn't really aware of, like people that I know. Like I knew like family members were watching them, which is sad. But actual people, like friends and stuff, and friends of friends, have let me know that they're watching my videos and miss them. Because I guess I get a bit of an insight into the things I tend to keep more secret. Which is, it's not just refreshing for the people watching, I suppose, it's cathartic for me. And you know, I had a comment on one of my videos, something to the effect of, I don't feel alone anymore, and I think that if I can just make that sort of impact on one person, because I remember when I was diagnosed, I didn't know who to talk to. Like, I knew I could talk to my psychiatrist, I knew I could talk to my parents, but I just didn't know who I could talk to who would genuinely understand, because it's impossible to explain properly. So without sounding like a schizophrenic elitist somehow, unless you have it, it's kind of, you can understand to the best of your ability, and I'm sure a lot of you in my life have really, really tried, and I commend you for that, because it's not easy. I know I've scared you, and I know that, you know, I've probably had my loved ones at their wits' end at times, worrying and just wondering, like, how bad is this going to get? But also another thing that I'm doing now, which I'm going to do a series of videos on, is I'm on the Victorian MMS program, which is the medical marijuana program, and having treatment-resistant schizophrenia for the last almost seven years in April. Nothing has ever actually worked. Like, no antipsychotic has worked for me. Everything's been, without sounding like a giant pessimist, which is so easy to do in these sort of situations, nothing has done shit. Everything has just made me physically ill and unhappy. And, weed doesn't. I don't feel anxious. I sleep at night. I sleep in. Now, I'm sure the last time I spoke to you about my sleep, I was telling you I was getting up at 4 and 5 a.m. Now I get up when Matt gets me up. So sometimes it's, 7, sometimes it's 12, sometimes it's later. If we've stayed up particularly late the night before, which does happen. God, I look weird with that eyebrows on properly. This is just a smudge from the day before. Like, they don't make liquid eyeliner the way they used to. But either way, I will probably post again later when this is all rinsed out, blow dried, maybe curled if I'm feeling fancy. It's pinky finger, it's fancy. See? And I might put eyebrows on in between that time and now too. But also, if you are in my area, you'll know who you all are because you're on my Facebook. It's probably where you're going to see this video first. I have got a new range of hair extensions going on alongside the wigs that you all already know that I sell and do, and custom dye and such. The hair extensions can also be custom dyed to match any sort of mermaid, unicorn, siren, gothic, raccoon scene dreams you have going on. I've got the keratin blonde ones. They're the best for people with short, thin hair, in my opinion. A lot of people would argue tape is better. I think it's bulky as fuck and doesn't sit as nice when you tie your hair up. But if you've got really thick hair that's short, tape's probably a better option. Just because of the overall price. You get a very similar result on thick hair with tape as you do with the strand by strand, and you can hide it pretty well. There's a very special someone she doesn't know yet. She's called my best friend Vicky Trevellis. But for our friendiversary on March 15th, which is the day I jumped out of a bush at primary school and exclaimed to her that we were now best friends, she's getting a full head of hair extensions from me. So, get excited.